In this episode, I'm going to finish up summarizing the quest lore in Mulgore. Now, this is continuing right after Bloodhoof Village, which for me took forever to cover. So if you missed that episode, then go ahead and click the link right over here. But other than that, let's jump right in and find out what's going on in World of Warcraft. After dealing with everything going on in Bloodhoof Village, you arrive at Camp Sungraze and speak to Una Wildbane. She tells you that by arriving here, you have successfully completed the Rite of Vision, and rewards you with the Rainwalker's Bracer for having done so. Now, remember last time when we had to cleanse the 2 water wells? Yeah, there's another one. This well is named after the Wildbane clan. And Una says that in order to purify it, the land must offer the teeth of a fierce predator known as the Prairie Wolf Alpha. Now, she doesn't say that she's gonna make a totem like Mole Thunderhorn said he would in the last episode. So let's just get these teeth and see what she wants to do. Now you run up to Lorekeeper Rain Totem, and he says that in order to gain acceptance amongst the elders in Thunderbluff, then you must complete the Rite of Wisdom. And because you passed the Rite of Vision, which was mentioned at the end of the last episode, the ancestral spirits of Red Rocks will give you the blessing of our ancestors. And only those that have drank from the Water of Seers can gain this blessing, which is what you did at the fire pit back in Bloodhoof Village. Lorekeeper Rain Totem wants you to travel east to Red Rocks and speak with the ancestral spirit. Also, the sacred burial ground for the most valiant Taurens is located at Red Rocks. But lately there have been reports of bristleback interlopers ravaging the grave sites. So while you're there, kill 8 of the interlopers to drive them off. Lastly, you run up to Ayahin Eagle Talon. I'm just gonna go with Ayahin because I don't know how his name is pronounced. He says that his brother is about to stand before Chief Bloodhoof, and Ayahin has been given the honor of making his headdress. But he's running out of time. And because he's so busy tanning the leather straps for the headdress, he was wondering if you could gather 6 azure feathers and 6 bronze feathers, which can be located to the north and northwest of this location. I'm wondering if his brother is Rule Eagle Talon from Bloodhoof Village. Not sure, just trying to connect certain names with different NPCs. So now you head out and kill the Prairie Wolf Alphas for their teeth. Then you head to the northern region and kill the Wind Fury Sorceress for their azure feathers, as well as the Wind Fury Matriarch for the bronze feathers. The last thing you do before returning to camp is run to Red Rocks, and when you get there, you take out the 8 bristleback interlopers, so they'll stop pillaging the graves in the area. Once that's done, you run up to the ancestral spirit. He tells you that you've shown great diligence in your yearning to pass the rites of the Earth Mother, and he says that the ancestral spirits represent the mighty Tauren who gave their lives bravely to protect Thunderbluff. And now he passes that duty on to you. So, I guess you fought your way up here to be given more responsibility? Well, you walked yourself right into that one. From here, you head back to Camp Sungraze to report. First, you return the 4 teeth to Una Wildbane. She says that the spirits have spoken about your cleansing of the Winterhoof and the Thunderhorn wells, and sure enough, she produces a totem to be used at the Wildbane water well, which lies north of Thunderbluff, and asks that you use it to perform the ritual and heal the land of the Grim Totem's poison. Now, you run up to Loremaster Rain Totem, who says that you sent the Bristlebacks a clear message by taking a few out at the burial grounds, and that they'll think twice before messing around in that holy spot again. He then rewards you with Karen's first breastplate for having driven them out of the area. Wait, Karen's first breastplate? Okay, so you're getting Bane Bloodhoof's dad's first breastplate. Well, I don't understand why this item isn't an epic, because yeah, it should be. Lastly, you run up to Ayahin Eagle Talon. May have pronounced that differently this time, I'm not too sure. And he thanks you for collecting the feathers that he needed to finish off the headdress for his brother. He then gives you the Planestrider leg armor for helping out. Not as cool as Karen's first breastplate, but yeah, we'll take it. So you head out to the well, and upon arriving, you're gonna deal with more of the Grim Totem, but once you do, you're able to cleanse the well. After that, you head out of there. But hold up, on your way back, you encounter a Ghost Howl, which upon killing drops a demon-scarred cloak. So the Ghost Howl that you killed had a really bad wound that was gained from the wolf's battles when fighting the Burning Legion. Maybe someone back at Camp Sungraze will know more about this? So you continue your journey back to camp, and once you get there, you immediately report to Una Wildbane. She thanks you for cleansing the wells and healing the land, and says that Bloodhoof Village is very thankful. You're then rewarded with the Cliff Running Boots for having finally cleansed the last well. Now that Mulgore's water runs clean again, and that you've pretty much saved everyone in the area, Una wants you to head to Thunderbluff and tell Bane Bloodhoof the leader of the Taurens, everything that you've uncovered about the Grim Totems. Before you head out, you run up to Scorn Whitecloud. He can't believe his eyes when you show him the demon-scarred cloak, and says that he looks upon you with new respect for having killed the Ghost Howl. Because of this, he thinks that you must be a hunter with some extreme skills, and offers you his old weapon, Scorns Hammer, because his days of hunting are at an end. Now that things are taken care of at Camp Sungraze, it's time to head to Thunderbluff and speak to Bane Bloodhoof. So you head out, and make your way up into the main city. Once you arrive, you speak to Bane. He asks you to tell him about your journey. So, you tell him about the Grim Totem, and he tells you that they were offered mercy in exile, but they've chosen to scar their own home to spite us. Bane says that the Grim Totem can no longer be tolerated here in Mulgore. He sent out warriors to drive them out through Stone Talon's Pass to the north, and asked that you join the battle, by dealing the final blow and killing Orno Grim Totem. Also, Bane talks about a dark shaman that's taken over Ragefire Chasm, located within Orgrimmar, and that we cannot allow this to pass unpunished, unless we want to see Thunderbluff taken over next. So he wants you to speak to Commander Bagrin just inside of the chasm and help him out. Looks like we'll be tackling that another time. But for now, let's go finish this place up to the north. So you head out, and when you arrive at the pass, you engage with the Grim Totem, until you come face to face with Orno, and fight him until he says that he's had enough. Right then and there, Bane Bloodhoof arrives, and says that he's had enough of this too. Well, that's when Orno tells his men to attack Bane because he's revealed himself. Bane pushes back as Orno trash talks his father. In the end, Orno says that this isn't over, but Bane disagrees and takes him out on the spot. He then tells you that Mulgore will no longer suffer the hatred of the Grim Totem and to meet him back in Thunderbluff. That was pretty cool. So you head out and make your way back to Thunderbluff to speak to Bane Bloodhoof. He says that what was done here today was not for revenge or pride, but to protect Thunderbluff. And because of what was done, Mulgore is now safe once again. He says that the Earth Mother thanks you for your brave deeds, and rewards you with the Sunwalker Stunner and the Kodo Saddlebag. Now that that's done, Bane says that much has changed outside of Mulgore, and that many of our Horde allies have turned down dark paths. Knowing that, we need to guide them. So Bane wants you to go to Orgrimmar and tell Saurfang how the Grim Totem were driven out of Mulgore. From here, you head to Tal, the Windrider Master, and take a flight, leaving Mulgore behind you in good hands. Once you arrive in Orgrimmar, you make your way into Gromosh Hold to speak to High Overlord Saurfang. You present him with the Mark of Bloodhoof, which I assume shows that you come directly from Bane himself. To be honest, they didn't mention anything about the Mark of Bloodhoof at all. They just kind of said you're gonna hand this off to him. And Saurfang says that if the Grim Totem have been driven out of Mulgore, then you must be a fierce warrior, and says that we need more heroes like you, which then leads to your acceptance as a full-fledged member of the Horde. And that wraps it up for the Tauren starting zone. Honestly, not my favorite out of what we've done so far. I did like the scenery, which was nice, but Bloodhoof Village really upset me a bit with how many quests they jam-packed in that area. As far as the lore goes, it just, story-wise, it didn't feel like you were progressing and moving on from that village. Plus, everything was kind of out of whack because it didn't guide you in a straight linear line. So I'm already working on the next starting zone, and I'm gonna keep it a secret as to which one I'm doing. Huge shout out to the Patreon subscribers for supporting this channel. Your contributions are what keeps this project alive. If you'd like to help out through Patreon, then go ahead and check out the link down below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time when we find out what happens next in the Tales of Azeroth. The ancestral spirits of Red Rocks, at Red Rocks, not of? No, it's of, okay.